In this video, we're going to show you how to jog the ABB robot. There's a couple of things that you need to know about the robot. First things first, we have the teach pendant, the controller, and lastly, in the work cell, the robot arm. When it comes to handling the pendant, whenever the pendant is not in use, please make sure it is sitting in this holder. This holder is designed so that the pendant doesn't get knocked off a table or fall to the floor. To remove the pendant from the holder, lift the pendant up and pull the pendant out. When it comes to hanging on to the pendant, place your hand through the strap on the back with 1 or 2 fingers on the dead man switch. In order to operate the robot, the dead man switch must be held in the center position. Without the dead man switch in the center position, the light on the robot will be off and the robot will not move. Once I press this switch into the center position, you'll notice that the light on the robot comes on. At this point, the robot can move at any time. The only person that should ever be in that work cell when that light is on is the person holding this pendant. Another safety device on the pendant is the e-stop switch. This e-stop or emergency stop button is used to stop the robot in an emergency. There are 3 for each robot. On the ABB, you have 1 on the pendant, 1 on the controller, and 1 inside the work cell. When it comes to jogging the robot, you may come up to the screen and notice that you have a screen something like this. This is the program menu. It's not what we want at the moment. What you want to do is press the jog button. This will show you the jogging menu. You'll notice right now it's starting off as XYZ mode. You'll want to take a look up at the top here and make sure this selector arrow is pointing upwards for individual joint movement. To move into joint mode, you press this button here. Pressing it once, with the arrow pointing upwards, we'll see joints 1, 2, and 3. Pressing a second time, we'll get joints 4, 5, and 6. The joints are as follows on the robot. You have joint 1 at the base or the waist, joint 2, the shoulder, joint 3, the elbow, joint 4, a rotation of the wrist, joint 5, up-down motion for the wrist, and joint 6, rotation of the tool. With the joints selected in joint or option 1, we have joints 1, 2, and 3 listed. When moving the robot, there are a couple of things you have to be careful of. Number 1, make sure that robot does not come close or impact any object within the work cell. It will cause damage. To move joint 1 in the positive direction, the joystick will be moved corresponding with the arrows listed on your pendant. So joint 1 positive will move this way, to the right. Joint 1 negative will be to the left. To move joint 2, you're going to press up or down. Joint 3, rotate counterclockwise or clockwise. To switch into joints 4, 5, and 6, press the joint mode button a second time. You'll see 4, 5, and 6 listed down at the bottom. Joint 4, joint 5, and joint 6 is rotation of the tool. The thing to keep in mind is these joysticks are proportional, meaning the further you move it over, the faster the robot will move. There's also a slight delay in when you move the joystick to when the robot arm actually starts moving. Be careful for that. It's very easy to have the robot go out of control. To get into XYZ mode, simply press this button here. Pressing it once and having the arrow pointing downwards, you'll see X, Y, and Z. X positive will move the robot towards you or towards the door. X negative will move the robot away from you. And this X positioning that we're talking about is the tip of the tool will move in a perfectly straight line according to these. Y negative moves the robot to the right. Y positive moves the robot to the left. A counterclockwise rotation will move the robot Z positive or up. And a clockwise rotation will move the robot down or Z negative. When you're done operating the robot, always place the pendant back in the teach pendant holder. Make sure it's secure and ensure that your cable is coiled up nicely on the hooks in front of the robot. This will prevent damage to the teach pendant cable.